Political campaign logos utterly fascinate me. They combine my graphic design background with my interest in politics. Now, unfortunately for me, the logos in the UK are all a bit naff. Over in America though, every candidate gets their own logo, so there's way more room to play. And, well, they all used to be really bland. Surname in a big, thick font, bit of red, bit of blue, maybe a star or two, couple of stripes and even a flame if you're nasty. At least now, well, the majority of candidates are still doing that, but with standout logos like Beto O'Rourke's, Elizabeth Warren's and Pete Buttigieg's, it's clear that we're moving away from the standard showcases of look how good my name looks when you smash the American flag into it. I mean, it's pretty obvious how they ended up in that paradigm. When you're running to be leader of the country, using the colours of that country's flag is a good starting point. Not only that, but the colours themselves are solid choices for leaders. Red evokes feelings of power and passion, light blues can be refreshing and friendly and peaceful, whereas darker blues are strong and reliable, and white, well, white doesn't really fit the remit as far as colour theory goes, but it works well as an accent colour and it's both readable on red and blue. And that's all I wrote for this script, because there isn't really a whole lot of good, cool histories of political logos, because before Obama did that little sunburst thingy, it was kind of a bit shit. So I wanted to talk about logos, and it's Super Tuesday today if I'm managing to get this out tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is just go through all the political logos of the Democratic candidates and talk about them and talk about how bad some of them are. We're going to skip over a lot of them because people like Tom Steyer's, I don't have anything to say about Eric Swalwell or Tom Steyer. But we're going to start at the bottom here with Andrew Yang. We're on Ballotpedia, by the way. Great website, great resource. Yang 2020. I really hate this. Really hate this Y, because if you shrink it down, it doesn't look like a Y anymore. It looks like an L, and his name isn't Lang, it's Yang. That was bad. But the slant on it, it's a nice little slant. It makes things look like they're moving forward without moving forward, and his whole slogan was not left, not right, but forward, which is a bad slogan. This isn't about the candidate, this is just about the logo. And the sort of the slant, the moving forward with the slant is nice. It's a nice little parallel. Marianne Williamson, I know nothing about Marianne Williamson, but this looks like a self-help seminar, not a presidential logo. I'm a sucker for the O's not being filled in on the logo, so that's neat. Also, we're going to see a lot of these 2020 on top of each other, like with Marianne and Tom Steyer. One thing that really bugs this looks like a moving firm. Tom, to me, looks like he's going to come over to my house with a van. What really bugs me about Tom Steyer's is, one, the O's here are touching the ends of the canvas, which is bad. Over here, there's like a 1 pixel gap, which I'll allow that, but okay. This is just a thing that bugs me. This gap here and this gap here are way too different. There's like a chasm between these two 20s. God, Marianne got it right. Get out your ass, Tom. I've got nothing to say about Eric Swalwell. This is like the most generic logo. His slogan was go big, be bold, and this is the least big and bold thing. I think like the 3 red stripes that kind of looks like an E. That's not an original thought, but I have nothing to say about Swalwell. ADM Joe Sesta. I've never even heard of this guy. This looks like an I. It looks a little bit Big Brothery. Tim Ryan, like the shade of blue. Not got a lot else to say on that matter. Deval Patrick. By the way, we're speeding through the ones that dropped out early because the effort. I don't have 9 hours. Deval Patrick, big fan of this green. Big fan of the lack of red. Deval for all is a good. Not only is that like that rhymes, but it also teaches you how to pronounce Deval, because you could say devil or deval, but Deval for all. That's good. But we're not talking about the slogan. We're talking about the logo. I like the slant up. It reminds me of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's posters, which I'll put on screen somewhere. They were some of the best political posters I've seen in a long time. So echoing that is a good place to start. Beto, a really good logo, because there's no red or blue on it. It stands out from all of the rest of the logos by not being red and blue. It does look like a ketchup packet from, is it Whataburger? It also could be a brand of whiskey, but it's nice. And it, like, in this arena, it really stuck out because it wasn't red, white and blue. Seth Moulton, this is a really big logo. I've got nothing really to say on it. This looks like a man going, yay, but he's on his side. I don't quite know what they were doing here. This could also be a mouse cursor. I don't know. Gradients. It's 2020. Gradients are out. You don't do gradients. Who are you, Wayne? You run for 5 minutes? Amy, this looks like a talk show. Amy for America is a talk show. Like the really thin, the really like this sort of, there's these really thin bits on the letters, and just the all lowercase italics in the 4. It really looks like a talk show to me. It doesn't look like a presidential logo. Fan of the green though. Like the green. Jay Inslee, this is according to this logo, is a piece of Windows XP software that does your taxes or something, because that's what I get off of this 90s ass logo. You had some really cool ideas, Jay, with your environmentalism, but this logo, garbage. Hickenlooper, I like the mountain. Like the mountains are bold, and the light blue instead of the dark blue and the no red, it's bold, but it doesn't look like a presidential logo. It looks like a more local, like Congress logo, because these are like hyper local to where he lives. I think these are, I want to say the Rockies, and it also looks a bit like the Adidas logo, which, you know, might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. I'm not a huge fan. Kamala Harris, well, she's got the sticking out, using the purple and the yellow makes it stick out, but I showed this to my partner and he went, is her name Harris 4? If not, that's a bad logo, because right across the middle is just Harris 4. That is what the eye is pulled to, and that's bad. If your eye isn't pulled to her name in the logo, it's bad. So your eye should be drawn to the words Kamala Harris. It's not, it's drawn to the middle, big bold words, Harris 4. And this the, which is just floating here doing nothing, is way too small. Way too small, this little the. Mike Gravel? Is it pronounced Gravel? It looks like gravel. This A is doing some weird things. The bottom of the A is doing some weird, this little like jellyfish in the middle of the A is cool, I guess. It's supposed to be the American flag. It looks like a jellyfish. And this E looks weird. This E looks like a nose, because of how it sticks out way past the end of the E. Like this bit sticks out way too far compared to this bit. These two should really line up. I quite like this little valley here that's created by the R and the A next to each other. That works, but this over here doesn't. Gillibrand. Oh, that looks really businessy. I think she's dropped out. Yeah. This looks really businessy. And I think this is like the Babass font, the font that I use on things because it's free. You're a presidential candidate, you can afford a font. John Delaney, why don't you just go all out and steal Obama's sunburst? Because right now you've got a highway and it looks bad. Julian Castro, really like this bit. It like this and this matching. Draw your eye towards the accent on the word Julian, which highlights his sort of Latinx heritage. I like it. And I like the box around it with the gap. Unfortunately, he wanted to make his campaign about Julian rather than about Castro. I don't think that stuck. People were just calling him Julian Castro. With this logo, he looked like he was trying to emphasize Julian the same way like Bernie emphasizes Bernie. Unfortunately, it didn't work, but I like this logo. This is a good logo. Pete. Pete was one of the reasons I am going through the dropouts, because Pete dropped out yesterday. Fuck you, Pete. This looks like a sports team. It looks like a sports team, and Pete is like the star quarterback for whatever sports team this is. I don't know, a lacrosse team or something. This is not a fantastic logo. Steve Bullock. This is, again, this isn't a presidential logo. I never heard of Steve Bullock, but this is a barbecue restaurant. This is not a presidential logo. I've got nothing really to say about Corey. This is fresh out the 90s. De Blasio, not a lot to say about here. I like the contrast of the thick and the thin. Kind of fan of the green other than that. Bennett, stop trying to rip off Pete. Elizabeth Warren, like, as you can tell from the channel redesign, big fan of mint green. Really do like mint green. So this is quite a good logo. She's got good name recognition. So just Warren is powerful. The lack of a slogan or anything, again, all because she's got name recognition, she just needs Warren, and it's working for her. Quite like this logo. I've seen it in different colors. Don't quite like it as much in the different colors, but the very dark blue, almost black, on the mint green is powerful and sticks out. I do think the word Warren could be a little bit bigger. There's a lot of dead space here, but generally good logo. Bernie's logo is really good. There's a reason he didn't change it between 2016 and now, other than making the words blue instead of white. Although this makes this like blue, white, red strip looks a little bit toothpastey, but the sort of the slab serifs and combined with the roundness of the other font makes this look really friendly. Dotting the eye with a star, it's a classic move. This floating bit under the B is the only bit about this logo I dislike. This little floating bit here is the only bit I dislike. Other than that, very good logo. As good, if not better than Warren. Tulsi Gabbard. This is a unique logo. The spacing between the 2020, not a huge fan of. It's a bit too far apart. They look like they're just sort of floating in the middle of nowhere at the minute. The sunburst is powerful. It's bold. I wouldn't have done it. It's working for. Well, I say it's working for her. She's not polling that high, but maybe it's not working for her. It's a very literal sort of reimagining of Obama's sunburst. I don't know how I feel about the cut off bottom corners of the T and the I. It makes it look like there's like a negative space smile here. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, but the sunburst, the sunset, sorry, it harkens back to I think she's a Hawaiian governor or senator. And that's I think she's trying to invoke her Hawaiian background with this sunset. If that's not intentional, it looks very good and it does evoke that. If that is intentional, then again, it's very powerful. The negative space smile, again, not sure if that's intentional, but it makes it look a bit dental. The problem with the red, white, and blue design is red, white, and blue is also the Colgate design. So it's very easy to look dental and toothpastey. Tulsi, average logo. Michael fucking Bloomberg. I hate this logo. And I will tell you a few reasons I hate this logo. Michael Bloomberg is a billionaire. Michael Bloomberg is a billionaire whom, from looking at him and from knowing that he's a fucking golfing billionaire, you know he wants to be called Michael in private. You know that he would never spell Mike with a lowercase m. This is such a disingenuous logo. The lowercase, like, it makes it like he's trying to look friendlier with Mike in all lowercase. He's trying to appeal to younger people with Mike in all lowercase. I've seen this logo with the word in white and the background in blue, and the blue background with the other shade of blue 20 is a real eyesore. The 220s in red and blue makes it look like a scoreboard rather than a date. Using just the logo for Bloomberg News as the Bloomberg, like, it's the same font, and if you were to cut just the word Bloomberg out of this logo, it's just the Bloomberg logo. This is an awful logo. It's lazy, it's really transparent what he's trying to do with the name Mike, and this looks like a scoreboard. Not a good logo. 0 out of 10. Yet another thing that Bloomberg is fucked in this presidency. Biden president. Biden smash. This is Incredible Hulk. Why is there not a 4 in here? What you could have done, Biden smash, is shifted the word president a little bit closer together and whammed the word 4 in there. Biden for president. You put that 4 in the same color as this red for the E, and boom, you've got yourself a good logo. But what you've done now is Biden president, and it just sounds like a demand, or again, the Incredible Hulk, neither of which is good. Also, sorry, ding in the mic. Also, the E stripes, red American flag. It's been done. It's tired. It's bad. I really dislike this as well. It makes the E, and he's done it the same because he's got a Joe logo as well, which is he's got the round O and then the E is the same E lifted off, and I don't like removing the whole of this bar makes the E a little harder to read at a glance. It could almost, at a glance, you could see bid on president. What you could have done, very, very tiny things. I've seen the 3 stripes with the red in red to B and E. I've seen it done a lot before. Make the middle stripe a little bit shorter. It sells the E so much harder. But he didn't do that, and he couldn't even write the word for, or even a year. I think if he fails this, he's going to reuse the same logo next election. I dislike this as a logo. This isn't an endorsement of any candidate. If you want me to endorse a candidate, it's brynnie. So vote for brynnie. He's also coincidentally one of the best logos here, apart from this floating bee. I noticed this floating bee a couple of days ago, and fuck me, it's annoying me now. But standout logos of the bunch. Bloomberg's is awful. Tulsi's is brave. Brynnie's is almost perfect. Warren's is almost perfect. Award for best jellyfish goes to Mike Gravel. And award for oldest logo goes to Jay Inslee. So yeah, that's I'm just rambled about political logos for a bit. So thanks for watching. This is a bonus video. So I'm gonna just completely off the cuff talk about Patreon. I have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/BrentWXYZ. It makes videos not like this, but my usual like high effort videos possible. We've got special Discord roles. We've got Patreon hangouts. We've got executive producer tiers, and all the names in the credits, as you can see now. If you have some spare cash, that is where you want to put it. If you have some spare words, drop them down in the comment section below. Like and subscribe while you're down there. And big thank you to the fresh cheese bags of the month, and I'm trying to do this without reading a list this time. Ethan Safron, Karl Raade, WhatWouldJediDo, Kozmosaur, the Magpie Magus, and NeuroticAnarchy. I think that's all of them. Thanks for watching, and as always, love you, bye.